Dear Back to the Future. It's me, Ron. I know, I just saw you, but I just can't contain myself. There's just something I have to tell you. I want to shout it from a mountaintop, but I don't have a mountain, so this will have to suffice. Here goes. I love you. Believe it or not, there are people out there who don't want our love to be. And there are even others who simply don't understand it. But since I first laid eyes on you at age 6, nearly 30 years ago, I've been enamored with you. With your plot structure, your top-notch script, and your memorable characters. I'll never forget the first time I saw you. My older sister and I had learned how to tape movies off of cable with our VCR, meaning my first copy of you was the TV edit taped off of a USA Network. But I didn't care. I didn't even care that Biff said son of a butthead after getting manure dumped in his car. Or again when he confronts Marty outside the dance later on. And I'll admit, my young mind didn't quite catch on to certain aspects of the secondary plot until I was much older, like the creepy mom kisses and reefer smoking.
Who you calling spook, Peckerwood?
But I loved when Marty played Johnny B. Good and drove that shiny car super fast. That was awesome. When I think about you, I'm constantly impressed by your perfect plotting and script structure. Your setups and payoffs are effortless.
1, 2, 3. Hey man, the dance is over. Unless you know somebody else that can play the guitar.
Re-elect Mayor Goldie Wilson.
And one day I'm gonna be somebody.
That's right, he's gonna be mayor.
Yeah, I'm a mayor.
While the mall name change is a great bit of art direction, it's the flyer that Marty receives in Act 1 that is the single most important setup and payoff in the whole movie. On the surface, the scene plays like it's just about two teens who can't catch enough luck to finish their kiss in the town square.
Where were we?
Right about here.
Jennifer!
Jennifer's dad arrives to pick her up while wailing on the horn, but before that, we see them interrupted by the rattling of a can full of change.
Save the clock tower! Save the clock tower!
An older woman is helping Mayor Wilson's initiative to replace the broken clock on Hill Valley's clock tower, and she provides several pieces of vital information to the audience and characters. In the span of a few seconds, we learn that 30 years ago, lightning struck that clock tower, and the clock hasn't rung since. Marty humors her with a quarter and receives a flyer for his troubles. Little does he know that very flyer holds the key to solving the central conflict of the whole movie: how to create the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity they need to power the flux capacitor.
My only hope.
Marty, I'm sorry, but the only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
What did you say?
A bolt of lightning. Unfortunately, you never know when or where it's ever going to strike.
We do now.
This is it.
The flyer contains all the information that Doc needs to devise the plan to send Marty home.
According to the flyer, at precisely 10:04 p.m. this Saturday night, lightning will strike the clock tower, electrifying the cable just as the connecting hook makes contact, thereby sending 1.21 gigawatts into the flux capacitor and sending you back to 1985. All right.
And so a seemingly random townsperson that you forget about the second she exits has given Marty exactly what he needs to get home, and you don't even notice it. Setup, payoff. And at the risk of sounding overly flowery, I also love that there's another layer of setup and payoff that aligns with the flyer. I'm talking about Jennifer. When Marty says, "I'll call you tonight," she tells him to call her grandma's house and gives him that number. She also takes the time to add an "I love you," which combined with the phone number is why Marty saves the flyer when he most likely would have tossed it like any other. And her note is the reason he pulls it from his pocket later to show Doc what he has waiting for him back home.
She's crazy about me. Look at this. Look what you wrote here, Doc. I mean, that says it all. Doc, you're my only hope.
So you have multiple setups and payoffs happening together, which just drives me wild.
Oh.
And while I take solace in knowing that most everyone who sees you shares my love and admiration for you, some may not understand why you're the greatest movie ever. But don't hold it against them, it's not their fault. After all, not everyone was raised with the same values.
How much money you got on you?
But I'll wrap up with this. Some people think that every house needs a particular item to make it home, while some might say a dream catcher, others might say a Bible. I disagree, because every house needs the trilogy box set of Back to the Future. Anyway, love you, B. I'll see you soon. Love, Ron. Please like, subscribe, and enable notifications to be alerted when new episodes drop. We aim for the third Wednesday of every month to put out a new video, so follow all the regular social media channels to know when that happens. Also, please consider supporting our Patreon page to continue producing new material.